Political cartoons are very appealing to students. All students love to look at cartoons, especially with a little sarcasm. Teachers also like to use political cartoons in the classroom. They require students to use high-level thinking in order to analyze and uncover the meaning of the cartoon. Let's take a look at a few and walk through the steps necessary to analyze a political cartoon. Here we have one demonstrating Uncle Sam carrying a very large load. Our first thing we should zero in on with our students is the source. As you can see here, the source is listed: the American Union Against Militarism. We then go on and we can read the title, Uncle Sam's New Load. We can also look at the caption at this point to see if it will provide any clues. The pictures here, analyzing the people, this is a key to this particular cartoon. We should have our students zero in on the facial expression. Here you can see that this person is very battered. The clothing is tattered, he's using crutches. We can then move on and look at Uncle Sam. His hat has fallen off, sweat is dripping from his brow. This must be a tremendous load for him to carry. Let's take a look at a second one for our next step. Here we see a political cartoon. Now, it's great, a large amount of information in this. We have key points listed as narrations and captions. We start to identify clues. We see Henry, we see a Ford vehicle, we see the F on the swimsuit. We start to identify that this is Henry Ford. It's very important that we take a look at the actual caption here. Yes, we have no ambitions today. This is a playoff on a 1922 song about, yes, we have no bananas today. The artist of this political cartoon was correct in identifying that Henry Ford did not have any ambitions in entering the presidential contest at this point. Let's move on and take a look at this American Revolution political cartoon. This is a very common political cartoon found in many history textbooks. The smartboard is a great way of analyzing this political cartoon. It is filled with a tremendous amount of information. We can see, first of all, Boston Tea Party, 1773, Sons of Liberty dumped tea into Boston Harbor. Which part of this political cartoon captures this historical information? If we look closely, we can identify this piece here is the symbolic representation of the Boston Tea Party. Now, we move on and we see the Stamp Act. If we look here on the tree, we have the Stamp Act actually upside down. We move on and we have the Liberty Tree. Liberty Tree was a symbol popular of the time for individual liberty and resistance. This is filled with symbolic representation. As students uncover these pieces, they start to understand the time period and what the artist and the author of the political cartoon was sharing with the public. Let's move on. Our next one is symbols in political cartoons. This one, as you can see, hiding behind the national flag is Richard Nixon. Nixon admitted to concealing details concerning the break-in of the Democratic headquarters. And the symbolism in this one political cartoon is the use of the flag as a security blanket during this time. Teachers can do a variety of activities with political cartoons. One way is actually looking at a political campaign, having students analyze a variety of cartoons and having them figure out the chronological order where different issues came up during a political campaign. So think about the steps involved here. Students have to analyze each political cartoon and then put them in sequential order. When they are complete, students have a great visualization of the trials and tribulations that a candidate experiences during a campaign. Let's review the steps in analyzing a political cartoon. First, we should identify the author. Next, look at the title. Then look at the people or places or items in the actual cartoon. Read the caption and the narration. Identify labels of objects. Identify symbols. And then, of course, summarize the message. What was the purpose? What was the message that the artist was trying to get across to the public? I hope you bring political cartoons into your classroom, assist your students in the various steps in analyzing them, and also incorporate some great technology. It too will add to your history classroom.